Hi, and welcome to Vintage Doll Collector. A couple of weeks ago, we took a drive to Brunswick, Maine to visit the Waterfront Flea Market and Cabot Mill Antiques, which are located in an old textile mill building downtown. They had a lot of dolls in both places. Come along and I'll show you what we found. First stop was the Flea Market. It's only open on weekends. I was intrigued by this little vinyl doll who I hadn't seen before. He was marked with a name, but it wasn't any doll manufacturer that I recognized. And did I write down what it was? No, of course not. I thought I'd remember, and of course I don't. If you recognize him or her, please leave me a comment and tell me who it is. This Russian doll is quite large, at least 20 inches tall, and has a fancy hat to match her dress. A handmade cloth boy doll with needle sculpted face. Check out his hands, they look like baseball gloves. Here's another Russian or Eastern European doll made of cloth. This is the style of Russian dolls I've seen before, but this one's got an elaborate hat with jewels, which is very different. Ceramic figurines usually have molded hair, but this little pixie has a red wig. Cute! There weren't a ton of antique dolls at the flea market, but here's one. This is a German metalhead doll, probably a Minerva. These dolls are almost always chipped like this one is. The price tag says $75, which seems way too high to me for this condition. A sweet Japanese boy and girl doll. I think they're composition. Now these are not actually dolls, but they're so unusual I had to take a picture. They're wax figures, maybe 5 or 6 inches tall, very detailed. Have you ever seen anything like this before? And the price was really reasonable. I think they were maybe $5 for all three. If I had someplace to put them, I would have picked them up. There are a lot of action figures at this flea market. I saw a lot of things I would have bought if money and space were no object. The Donna doll on the right here is a typical 1950s hard plastic doll, but her dress with the hearts on it would make a nice doll for a Valentine's display, don't you think? And I would have liked that Babe Ruth doll for my New England collection, although the uniform he's wearing here is the Yankees. I wonder if they made him in a Red Sox uniform. I hemmed and hawed over this Little Women Amy doll by Ideal too, but I finally decided the box was a little too rough. This Ask Gypsy doll is very interesting. I had never seen her before. She's a battery-operated talking doll made by Eugene. I did a little research when I got home and found that she was made in a blonde version as well. The word gypsy is considered by many people now to be an offensive ethnic slur, so this doll would never be made today. Remember this guy? This is the Mcdonald's Hamburglar. They were made back in the 70s. There were other characters too. Mayor McCheese, remember him? Speaking of racially insensitive dolls, this black doll is actually a bell with a wooden handle. Behind her is, of course, Fred Flintstone. I think he's a pretty recent one. I love this sunset Malibu Ken doll from the 1970s. The mod era Kens are so handsome. I looked up his outfit when I got home. It's called Shorelines, and the pants he's wearing are a hard-to-find variation fabric. Oh well. This is one of those pose dolls made in Japan and Korea. I didn't look to see if she was tagged. Wow, there really are a lot of action figures here. Cute 1980s baby doll by Horseman. There was one booth here that was all dolls and a wide variety. You can see there's an American Girl doll here, and I see Elvis too. I don't know who the doll in the pink and purple outfit is. Anyone recognize her? This is one I would have loved to take home, Leslie by Madame Alexander from the 1960s. She's wearing an original outfit too. There was so much to look at. The owner of the booth was sitting right here, so I felt weird about taking pictures of everything. But there was a lot of great vintage stuff here, and the prices were reasonable. Here's a cute cloth doll. This is one of those big 32-inch dolls made by Unita in the 1960s. I like these dolls, but don't have room for anything this big. This guy is a puppet with a character head. I really like this old felt angel doll. She might have been made as a Christmas tree topper or ornament. These little polar bear dolls have porcelain heads and limbs. I was tempted to take them home. I just didn't know what I would do with them. The cloth doll with the striped apron is Clara Barton. She's one of the Hallmark Famous Americans series. I have her already, or I would have bought her. The most popular dolls of all time, Raggedy Ann and Andy, of course. This is a homemade pair. This is a Madame Alexander doll. I don't know if you can see in the photo, but she's wearing ice skates. Anybody know who she is? That was it for the flea market, so we headed on over to the antique shop. If you want to check out their website, it's cabotiques.com. This Italian doll is similar to the Lenci miniatures. With that orange outfit, she would have been great for my Halloween display. The antique shop has a lot of locked glass cases. You have to ask for help if you want to see something. I didn't want to bother the employees since I wasn't going to buy this Midge doll, but I would have loved to get a look at her. Sorry this picture's not quite in focus, but I didn't want to leave it out. He's some kind of outer space robot man made of hard plastic. Just awesome. An antique bisque Parian type doll. The price was $75. Here's a celluloid or plastic Cupid doll made in Japan. Needs restringing. An antique Armand Marseille doll. A little pricey with what looks like a synthetic wig and modern dress. Some vintage travel dolls, possibly from India. There were some great old teddy bears there too. I just love the big one here. A wonderful cloth doll with embroidered details. It says World War II doll on the tag, but I think it's earlier than that. Might even be World War I era. Here's a hard plastic Royal Canadian mounted Policeman Doll. I can see he still has his gun. Little accessories like that are often lost. Check out this walnut head doll from the Ozarks. I had a hard time getting a decent photo of this doll. She appears to be an artist-made doll with a hand-painted face. Another awesome old teddy bear, very well loved. Poor baby has lost his eyes. Some tiny dolls. The one lying horizontally on the bottom is a celluloid doll. The white doll is an all bisque, and the one on top is a Renwald dollhouse baby, I believe. A cute little bellhop monkey with celluloid head and cloth body, made in Japan. There were a few nice dollhouses here too. A German China doll head, lowbrow style. Here's a nice China half doll. I like her bonnet and collar. Another shoulder head. I think this one is unglazed bisque. Some cool vintage animals. The monkey looks like a wind-up toy. The poodle and the donkey might be dream pets. And what's that thing in the back? I thought it was a monkey, but it seems to have a lot of legs. Maybe it's a spider monkey? This skiing pair is wonderful. I don't think they're Lencis, but they look Italian to me. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. The dealer's tag on this doll says she's hard plastic, but I can tell by her hands that she's actually composition. She's in great condition and has a mohair wig. It says she's unmarked. Her face looks very much like a Tony doll. I wonder if she was one of the compo dolls that Ideal made before they came out with the Tony. A Nora Welling sailor doll made of felt. I think these were souvenirs you could buy on passenger ships. Found this little Ginny doll tucked away in a corner. Very cool cloth musketeer doll with a molded mask face. Never seen one like her before. Ooh, here's an advertising doll for Eskimo pies. I'd love to do a display of advertising dolls for food products in my kitchen someday, but they'd have to be in a glass case or they'd all end up smelling like onions. Another antique bisque Armand Marseille doll. Love this handmade cloth doll with her matching dress, hat, and shoes. Santa Claus! Some more little tinies. The plastic doll on the right is tagged Made in Italy. A couple of half dolls made into whisk brooms. Nobody uses whisk brooms anymore, do they? They used to be a common item in every home. Love, love, love this cloth doll by Georgine Averill with a printed face designed by artist Maud Towsey-Fangle. After I left the shop, I actually went back to look at her again. But then I noticed she had a water stain across most of her face. I think it may be possible to get water stains out of cloth dolls, but I've never actually tried it. And that was it for our trip to Brunswick. I did come home with 2 dolls from the flea market. One was the Tonto action figure that I showed in my Thanksgiving video, and the other is this wooden doll made by Erla Gribben of Portland, Maine. I found Mrs. Gribben's obituary online. She was born in 1923 and passed away in 2014 at the age of 91. It said she was especially fond of collecting and repairing dolls. I'm so happy that she signed the back of the doll so I could know its history. If you make dolls or doll clothes, please, please, please mark, tag, or label your creations in some way. Future generations will thank you. And thank you for joining us on this trip today. Which doll would you have bought? Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you want to be notified when we have new videos posted, click the subscribe button and the little bell icon. See you next time.